And here with me on set now is Chief Strategist and Communications Director for the RNC, Sean Spicer. Sean, day 4, how you holding up?
I'm a little tired.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, I think we all are, but it's been an amazing few days here, and I'm really looking forward to tonight. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to capstone this week. You're going to hear, obviously, my boss, RNC Reince Priebus, Chair Reince Priebus. He's, I couldn't be more proud than the speech he's going to deliver tonight. Really sets the table to talk about what's at stake and the difference between the two campaigns and the direction that we go. You're going to hear from Ivanka Trump, which, again, I think she is going to join in the chorus of children and family members that have talked so eloquently about the man that Donald Trump is.
Has the Trump campaign shared his speech with the RNC?
I believe the chairman's probably seen it. I have not.
But they're giving you sort of basic facts about what's in there. You have a basic rundown.
Right, and I think Eric Trump talked about it earlier with Charlie and Nora and Gail and gave a little bit of insight into what he's looking to do.
Let's talk about last night, because I think you well enough to know that if Bernie Sanders had come out on day 3 of the Democratic Convention and basically said to Democrats, vote your conscience, and had refused to endorse Hillary Clinton, you would have said, there's a party that's got some serious problems.
No, and I think the way I look at what happened last night is this. Donald Trump ran against 16 other really qualified candidates. They're senators, and he offered each of them an opportunity to participate in the campaign. Some said no. Which, while I don't agree with, I think was classy to say I don't agree with Donald Trump. Therefore, I'm not going to come. I think, frankly, last night Ted Cruz was the one who sort of came out the loser last night. He took an act of graciousness that said, "Come speak here," and chose not to set the table for what's at stake. And I know everyone's got their head wrapped around this idea of whether or not he endorsed him or not. To me, that's less important, whether or not he uttered those words.
Right.
But I think that he had an obligation as a speaker, as a leader in the conservative movement, to come and say, this is what's at stake. I am a constitutionalist. I served as Solicitor General. I'm a lawyer. I know, how important the Supreme Court is. And Hillary Clinton would have 2 to 4 picks. We can't allow that to happen.
But you, as communications director, are in the business of making sure that unexpected things don't happen. If you know that Ted Cruz is going to in any way say something that is unflattering about your nominee, why allow him to speak? Why allow him to overshadow your vice presidential nominee?
Because I think part of last night was letting people see that Donald Trump's view was, I'm going to make this a convention about the party. I'm going to allow people that I had differences with to come and have an opportunity to speak. I think that some people want to make it about what Ted Cruz said. I look at about what Donald Trump did, and the graciousness, because that's the kind of guy that he is.
Do you feel that the Trump campaign put you in a difficult position this week by insisting for several days that Melania Trump's speech did not borrow from Michelle Obama's speech? You went out there like the good Republican soldier that you are, and you said, look, this isn't any more borrowed from Michelle Obama than Michelle Obama borrowed from My Little Pony, sort of these cliche, inspiring phrases.
So just to be clear, none of the ponies should take any offense.
Right. We're not going to single out any of the ponies. But then they turn around yesterday and say, okay, actually, these words were cribbed. It was unintentional, but it did happen. Had they just said that on
right, and I think
day
had they known, I think what Paul Manafort did is he went to the speechwriters and to Mrs. Trump and said, hey, did any of this come from here? And the speechwriter said, absolutely not. This is what she said. What I think upon further investigation happened is they realized that somebody who's not affiliated with the campaign, who Mrs. Trump had been speaking with on the side, and that was not clear from the campaign side. And I think everybody said what they thought was the case with the information they had.
The problem is, if they didn't know, why'd they say it's not?
Because they went to the speechwriters and to Mrs. Trump, the two people that you would think would know, and they said, no, this is my thoughts and this is my words, and the speechwriter said, we didn't do it. So, again, I don't think anybody said, well, did you talk to anybody that wasn't involved in the speech-making process? The woman that came forward was not involved as far as everybody knew.
Got it. One last question. There's a new poll out today that should probably make you pretty happy. It shows that Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are tied here in Ohio. The poll was taken just within the past couple of days, in spite of the fact that Ohio's governor has decided to skip the convention. They are basically tied at 44 points each.
That's
Your
great.
reaction?
No, that's great. And we've seen similar stories in Florida and Pennsylvania. And there are a lot of states that Donald Trump's putting on the map that haven't been there. We're up in Nevada. We've been very close in Iowa. So I've always believed, and I will continue to believe, that based since 2000, we live in basically a 47-47 nation. And I think that it's going to stay tight up through November.
Have you told the Trump campaign, hey, lay off the Ohio governor? He's pretty popular here.
I think he has been told that several times, and I think he understands that there's a sense of disappointment. All of these candidates, including John Kasich, pledged to support the nominee. And I think that, you saw us come out when Donald Trump talked about, not necessarily abiding by the pledge, and we said, look, everybody's signed these pledges, which are frankly part of the data agreements that go back several cycles. If you're going to take RNC data, we want you to make sure that you agree that you're going to stay within the party and support the nominee. So it's a disappointing because John Kasich gave his word.
Right. And Ohio is a very key state.
It is.
Is it not?
But for the record, though, I think Governor Kasich's been a phenomenal governor. Ohio is a better place for him. And so it would be, obviously we'd love to have his support for the nominee.
Got it. Sean Spicer, the RNC, thank you so much.
Thanks, Nancy. Appreciate it.
Hang in there. Just 12 more hours.